When Nationals supporters in the Was North cast their state election votes 9 months ago, few would have realised their ballot could help elect a Greens candidate ahead of a sitting Liberal minister. And not many Labour backers in the wheat belt would ever have even dreamed their vote could help elect a Conservative MP who advocates for substantial changes to Was gun laws. Similarly, people who backed micro-parties with appealing names, like the Animal Justice Party or the Daylight Saving Party, might have been shocked to know their votes could put an anti-fluoride campaigner into a hugely powerful position in state parliament. Those situations might sound stunning, but the reality is Western Australia voters have been tricked for many years into assisting parties they never would have dreamed of supporting. It raises some important questions. Is our electoral system broken? And, if it is, what does that mean for our democracy? Some experts see the system we use to elect upper house MPs as fatally flawed, arguing its results do not actually reflect what the public voted for. At the heart of many of those complaints is the group voting ticket mechanism, which allows Western Australia electors to cast their upper house votes by numbering one box, above a line, for their favourite candidate. Its simplicity is overwhelmingly appealing to voters, very few of whom bother to follow the alternative of numbering every one of dozens of boxes below the line to retain full control of their votes. But it means political parties have a huge influence over where those votes will ultimately end up with minimal accountability, something which can lead to gaming of the system and result in people being elected to Parliament despite earning a minuscule share of support in their own right. Federal Parliament voted to abandon the group ticket system for the Senate with those concerns in mind, and prominent election analyst William Bowe believes it is time for Western Australia to follow suit. They need to take a step back, have a think and come up with a quite comprehensive package of reform. But problems with group voting tickets are far from the only issue which many see with the system we use to elect MPs to the House of Review. Progressives have long bemoaned the fact that regional Western Australia, where Conservatives tend to dominate, has as many upper house seats as the city despite more than 3/4 of the state's population living in Perth. Advocates insist that discrepancy is necessary for regional Western Australia to maintain any real influence on the government that leads it. I am very cautious of Labor bringing a bill to the Parliament to rip up the Legislative Council. That will only be to the detriment of country people, Western Australia Nationals Electoral Affairs spokesman Martin Aldridge said. But Mr. Bowe said voters only needed to look at the results of the most recent election to see how flawed the existing system is. In the lower house, Labor inflicted an electoral annihilation, taking 20 seats off the incumbent government, defeating scores of big names and winning in a landslide. But in the upper house, Labor is so short of a majority that it has to reach out to people it would consider its political enemies, and win the support of at least one conservative-minded party, to get virtually anything done.